Perfect.
You guys can sort that out. Send it later. Thank you.
Done?
Can I tell you about everything that's so amazing about the salon doctor, please? Please, please, please. But actually, do you know what?
Oh,
I'm really scared to talk about how great you are because I kind of want to hog you all to myself because I don't want to have to share all your time. I'm scared for you to get a little bit too busy because I'm a very needy client. I need you all to myself.
babe, I've always got time for you. You know that, and
And
you
look,
and you know that I've always, I guess, even from inception, even with working with your team, I've always done more than what probably like I'm always very generous with my time. So I would never just say to you, "Oh, sorry, Loz, I'm too busy now. I can't help you anymore." I would never, ever, ever, ever do that. That's just not even who I am. So,
no, and
um,
I think that's the biggest point of difference though. I think it's like so curated to what we need in the moment. Sometimes, especially when you've been in business for a long time, like coming like across a business coach is tricky to find an alignment. And a lot of the time, coaches want us to go through a very routine plan of this is, we start off on phase one and you do blah, 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 which is beautiful when you're junior in business. And that worked for me maybe 10 years ago. But you offer something so curated and so needed in my salon at the moment. And I think that, from feedback of all of us that are being nurtured by you, you look after what we need at the present time. And for example, for us, we just needed to work on our sales. Like all of our problems are fading away when we're making some more money and we can understand where but that was we're very process driven and that then supported what you offer because our processes were strong that your structure fitted into our business so easily and it meant that we got the results so fast. So instead of you kind of trying to take us backwards, which are things that are really important, like and we're doing now, meeting structures and all those other wonderful amazing things to be able to get like our sales and our high ticket strategy down pat, then I'm free to take on all the other information. Like I think it's a beautiful way
yeah.
to do things.
And I think I very try and be very bespoke, okay,
Absolutely.
because a lot of salons have very different needs and at very different levels, right? So
Yeah.
it's not a one shop fits all. It's by salon by salon, and I feel like there are a lot of cases like I work with, single operators, and they're even at different levels, right? So even though, and as you know, I have my bones, okay? So there is like the leadership one that we did with the team.
Oh,
We have the stock control. I still have the bones, but I still tailor it very much to what you're up to and where you're doing, right? So for example, with Ingrid, right? Doing stock control, right?
mhm.
Even though you had a stock control process there, I still went through my module and we still unpacked what you could take away from that. It wasn't like, well, this is what it is. This is how it is. Whether you implement it or not, that's not my problem.
And I think this is the thing as well, though. Like there is just such like nuggets of information in there that can slide so well into a range of businesses. So it wasn't like you've never said to us, do stuff this way, and if it doesn't work too bad, these are the way that I can help you. I can understand your business and make these tweaks to make your business even stronger, as opposed to like stopping us in our tracks and saying you've got to change all these entire things. Like that's so overwhelming. I think that sometimes seniors of business ownership, we end up stopping from being coached because we're like, I don't really want to like, I want to
To
be able
change
to,
everything again.
yeah, I want to be supported and being told like, this is what you're doing really well. This is the areas that we can work on. And then beyond that, you're coaching my team, like you're taking my team under your wing. So it's taken the pressure off me entirely as well, because again, trying to find the time and put the information in my brain and then have to teach it on to my team, they don't really want to learn from me. They're always like, when are we getting Sonia time? We want to go. They're sick of hearing it from my mouth. So
So
being
let's
able to
unpack
create
that
those
a little bit.
relationships.
So let's unpack that a bit. So, for those who don't know you, get you to introduce who you are, because I know
Oh,
a lot of
yes.
people will actually know how amazing and who you are. But for those who don't, tell me a little bit about, like, I guess for you, you actually do coach salons as well. Okay, so you talk
You
to
know, I
them.
hate that word.
Yeah. Okay. So you actually share your magic with Salon, okay, about your experience with your own business. Okay. That's probably a better way to kind of put in a bow. So when we met each other at the accelerator, so we really didn't know each other at all at that point. And I guess the very pivotal moment was when you asked me about retail targets because that's when things really came to light, right? So this is kind of like pretty much towards the end of the day, end of the session, when we really start to unpacking KPIs and targets. And then you asked me a question in front of the whole group, and I said to you, do we take this offline or do we unpack that live, right? And then it kind of really grew from there. So it'd be really great to hear from yourself who already had a lot of SOPs in your salon, which for those who don't know, are systems and processes in your business. Okay, they were very nice, neat, and put in a bow, sorted. Why you felt that once we started talking about targets, and then when we got on a call and you saw how much else I did, you were willing to go into my inner circle for 12 months. So,
Yeah, so I've been a salon owner for 14 years. I stepped off the floor in 2021 when I had my first son. I've got three boys. And I spent whole of COVID creating processes for the whole entire salon. That was how I kept my sanity. We started creating processes for every single thing, how we made a tea, how we greeted a client, how the front desk ran process down. Anyone can step into my salon and basically know how we do things. So when it comes down to talking about money and numbers and whatever, everyone makes it very black and white. Oh, this is what the industry says. This is what the industry does. This is how it is. Like there's really like, I guess, no flexibility, no understanding to like the bigger picture of like what businesses are doing. So being able to bring like doing the accelerator program and having this whole entire new outlook that's outside of the industry, because again, that's the strength that you bring into. You're not just saying like, oh, that's the way that hairdressing is, and that's just the way that things have been done. You're like smashing that apart and breaking that open and being like, we can change this up, we can do something really magical. So what we had in our team, we had our front runners, we had our girls that were always hitting target, always making money, they were good. Then we had this kind of middle tier that it just never felt achievable for them to ever get anywhere. And we kind of, again, that was just kind of everyone just told me that's the way it is and that's how it's going to be. So to be able to have this whole new found perspective of how we can do things, how we can change it to lower our targets, like that is like we've lowered our targets and now we're making more than what our original targets were. Like that is the stats, like literally right there. But I think also to come from such a factual place, but a holistic place to be more understanding. Like obviously I love my team and like we're so bonded, but targets were always this block because they weren't, I just didn't know how to nurture them well enough to get the results that the salon needed. You come in with such like strong facts of this is how they should be based, but then a nurturing point of view, like getting on their level and understanding where the blocks are and how we can help. That's just like honestly, and I think being able to start with that, like I said, when that's a block, we're systemized, everything runs really smoothly, but we had this ceiling of what we could make and how we can make it. We've just broken those blocks down completely, and yeah, we're kicking goals.
and also too, I guess, because we changed your structure around retail and service targets, right? And I guess one of the big things I think that you've noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, that since we've actually changed your commission structure, so we went to a corporate commission structure, the girls are actually making target and they're making more money than they've probably ever made before. But they're also achieving bigger numbers than they've ever achieved before too, because we've actually tiered it, right? So it's quite interesting that it's a win-win for everybody, where I think before we met, they weren't even getting remunerated at all.
I don't know, not even at all. It was, and I think, yeah, there was just so many flaws in the system of how we charge good money. Our pricing structure is strong. Everything is really deliberate and intentional. But again, it's just targets no one really wants to talk about. And if they do want to talk about it, they talk about it in the same way that everyone else does. And that's just the way that hairdressing is. But this change up and making them like giving the girls a taste of it and getting them to feel what hitting target is like that was the block for me. And I'm like I'm such a modern salon owner, but I was like, but if they're not doing the money, how can I afford to give it away when, and you're like, they need to feel it. We need to like baby steps, but we're going to get there. And, we're literally having we're literally having our apprentices make 5 grand. Like it is
So tell me,
insane.
are all your staff making target now?
Yes, they are all hitting target. And I mean, a beautiful story that come from this. One of our team members, Tash, she qualified. She got some autoimmune conditions and she had to drop down to part-time. And financially was a big risk for her. She was scared of what that was going to look like, but she knew like health-wise she couldn't sustain her full-time hours. We just had a beautiful one-on-one meeting with her, and by this new target structure and how motivated she is against it, she's comfortable to work part-time. She's now making the same money as if she is working full-time, and she's been able to protect her health and her well-being in hand. Like, how beautiful that I can offer that to someone comfortably, that working part-time isn't going to financially stress you. It's going to actually support you and your lifestyle. Like, I think that was just like, I could have teared up when we spoke about that in our meeting. So yeah.
Yeah, and look, that's so your whole team is making target.
Yep. Yep. And yeah,
Wow.
even achievable for our apprentice team that we never thought. I think also obviously introducing some high ticket services has been like pivotal as well. And I think the other reflection of it is like when one of our team members, Georgia, had like the hugest like record outside of Christmas record week we ever had. She's flicking through her like online appointment book and going, but I wasn't booked out. Like I wasn't flat out. I wasn't psycho, because usually to make those hours is Christmas week when you're booked to like the absolute eyeballs and you're running late and you're not getting a lunch break. She had this beautiful week and she couldn't believe she made those numbers on a like standard booked week.
Standard week, yeah. So I guess, when you look at, I mean, I know you always say that you made your return on investment within the first month of working with me.
Yep.
But I guess when you look at month on, month on, month on, it's literally just gone. It's grown and grown and grown. And it's actually been a very short period of time, right? So we haven't been working together.
Literally.
I did Melbourne in the end of March.
Yep.
So literally in the last 3 months, the business has financially grown substantially.
Literally.
If they're all making targets as well, right, in such a short period of time. And I think what a lot of people feel like is that when they get a coach, they've got to make. I was on a call not that long ago with a salon owner saying they invested 15,000 and they didn't get their ROI at all.
But this is what I was saying. I think because sometimes like it's all well and good to work on process, and we are now, like, your strategy hasn't stopped. You're looking at our golden Christmas week, you're looking at my management team, you're looking at our meeting structures. Like the growth potential doesn't stop. But I think sometimes we're so much, people can't think about strategy and processes and whatever if you're not fucking making any money. I'm sorry, I know people hope that that's what's going to happen, but sometimes if it's going to take me 12 months to clean up my shit and I've made no money in that 12 months, I'm destitute
You're,
at the end
but,
of those 12
but you're
months.
still at a stressed level, right? How can you,
Literally.
like, you can't implement anything if you're not actually feeling okay with everyone, all the other boxes are ticked, right? Because financial stress is the biggest stress in any business,
Totally.
right? So once you remove that financial stress, then you you actually buy back time.
Literally, and I think also for the team hearing that in the current climate, they're the market that's feeling that financial stress. So in this pivotal time in our where we are, like, financial crisis or whatever you want to call it, my team are feeling comfort. We had a scissor man come into the salon and he's like looking around all awkward and he's like, "This is the only busy salon I've been into today." And I was like, isn't that telling you something, that in this climate, I can offer my team security. I've got a team that are hitting target and making more money than they did 12 months ago when we were safe. I've got clients that are happy to spend money while they're in our salon because they feel well looked after and we are attracting that high ticket client. Like, I think it's just a win-win.
What do you think when it came to the accelerator program, and I think even with your management team, right? What do you think was the biggest shift to be able to do this? So um, when you look at when I've actually done mentorship with them, what was the biggest thing that changed for them? Because we know that they're very talented, but what do you think was the biggest shift to be able to achieve what they're achieving?
I think like they trusted you from the get-go. I think really, like, obviously seeing you live was amazing, but understanding the whys and the hows and the really bones behind like the mythology that you offer, I think was, they were really like, we learned it side by side, we learned it shoulder to shoulder. It was like a group effort. But I think also like giving them, instead of it always being like they were always not in trouble, but do you get what I'm saying? Like your way was reward coaching. We're going to reward you. We know you can do it, so we're going to reward you
It's
early on.
nurturing, right? And I think it
Yes.
was a mindset shift of, you know, and I think one of the things that came up with, team was how can we have conversations with team that were actually working with them to grow? It's not, I need to have a meeting with you because you're not doing something. Let's have a look at why you're doing it
Hmm.
and let's work out how you not don't do that anymore and have a look at what help you need to get to where you need to get to. So a massive mindset shift. I've seen it with your girls too.
Yeah.
The mindset has been like quite
Well, I think it's
incredible.
just the trust shift has all changed. I think to be part of like the workings of understanding why we're making the change. Because again, I think sometimes business owners get coached and it's all like a secret little coaching thing.
Yeah.
And then when you come 3 months later and you're dumping all this information that you want your team to change, like who the fuck's this lady and why am I listening to her? Like, forget about it. But because it's been collaborative so early on, they trust you, they trust me, they're seeing the results very fast. Like it's not like this slow burn, like, oh, something exciting's coming. We got to see that change. So now when we're changing processes and we're changing like our meeting strategies, they already trust the process because it has already given them so much already that these things that aren't necessarily going to gear them so much if meeting structure changed or whatever, they're excited for what the process is going to keep growing to because they've seen this growth and this change in their I guess livelihood straight up.
Yeah. And they actually believe in themselves now too, right? They've got the
Yeah.
internal belief because when you implement, right, when you actually get given the tools and you actually go and implement them and it works, then you start believing in the process. It's no longer my idea. It's now you've implemented it. You've gone, oh my God, this has worked. Then
Mhm.
why wouldn't you just repeat what works? Right.
Literally.
And I think that's why it's been obviously too very easy for the team to go, right, the accelerator program. And this is what I also say to salons is I now won't work with salon owners unless the team's done the accelerator
Yeah. Yeah.
because I need your team to have the buy-in,
Yeah. Totally.
right? Could you imagine if we reverse engineered this? Could you imagine me getting on a Zoom with your two management teams and not knowing me, not having any foundation? Look, I could build rapport really quickly, right? So I think I could have got that over the line, but I'd have to spend some time to get to know them and build that rapport before I can get right deep and peel the onion,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Doing the accelerator, I was able to really unlock that really quickly. So
Mhm.
then to be able to then get on a Zoom, they were already very open to what we were, like you said, what we were offering.
And I think the change in our team as well, like me and Chloe were speaking about this with our team, because targets are so achievable, the usual kind of like push and shove in the salon of like, oh, I'm running late for my lunch or whatever. Everyone's so much more chill because they're feeling rewarded for that hard work. Unfortunately, call it the generation that we're in or whatever, an hourly rate for the work that we put in doesn't always cut it because when you have good staff members, they do go above and beyond for our clients. And that's why we love them and we keep them around. So being able to have that um early on, that change and that shift of them hitting targets and them feeling like they're part of it, they're on the journey together and whatnot. The vibe on the salon is relaxed. I think I said to you, like it feels like home again. The energy is really good.
Yeah,
Everyone's
you,
just
you sent me that
happy.
message.
Yeah,
You
like it
said
just
that
feels nice in here again because not that money is everything because it's not, but it's that, you know, hard
it's,
work showing the reward for that hard work is, we do work towards target. Sales are a thing. So,
but as
um,
hairdressers, right, do you think, right, as hairdressers, we do hairdressing because at some point our clients actually give us that boost. They tell us they love us, they make
yeah,
us feel good, right?
yep, totally.
And it fills our, I guess, our love tank, right?
Yep,
That's why I think a lot of hairdressers love the job that we do because
yep,
we feel very loved by our clients. And
yep,
I think that goes hand in hand when you look at staff, when they feel valued, they feel rewarded, they feel seen, they feel heard, right? And I think that's what's really shifted in your business. Not that you didn't do it before, but they're being seen and heard on a very different level.
yep. There was a block there, and that's what I mean. There was a block there, and whenever we would do coaching or whatever, it came back to processes and this. There's something missing in those kinks, but this just knocked the nail on the head straight away. And yeah, the filtration through the system and making everything feel so much more better is I just can't thank you enough for.
It's been an absolute pleasure. We still have a lot, like, there's still a lot
Oh,
in the tank.
it gets me
Um,
so excited to feel what we've achieved in like 3 months. Like imagine like what we're going to be when we're doing our 12-month reflection, I think is going to be pretty
I think the numbers are going to be very, very wild. I can't wait, actually. I would
incredible.
actually even might like to look at March, April, May, June. I'd actually, on our next meeting, would like to see the 3 months, what the comparison was from last quarter to this quarter, and
Yeah.
see what the uptake was. And
Yes.
yeah, I love that. Well, Loz, you're an absolute superstar. Thank you so much for your lovely testimonial. I, love having you as a client of mine to mentor, because it's really mentorship, not coaching. I think coaching's more, I do two sides. I do the coaching when I'm actually implementing and teaching, but now we're really into the mentorship where we're really dialing down and doubling down
Life
on
coaching.
life coaching. Yeah,
Saving my
absolutely.
marriage. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, stopping me from use ChatGPT to fight with Ryan. You're like, calm down, calm down.
So, no, it's all good now, right?
It is, it is.
After one dinner, we're all good, even at home.
Too funny.
Oh, you're a legend. Well, thank you so much, superstar. And yeah, I'm so excited and I really appreciate your feedback and your honesty. And yeah, great job for you for implementing as well.
Oh, thank you.